World War I was terrible. And one of the worst battles was definitely that of Passendale, also known as the Third Battle of Ypres. In this Third Battle of Passendale, nearly 1 million men ended up as casualties. Some of the hardest fighting of World War I. This is the town of Passendale before the battle began, and this is what it looked like 3 months later when the battle ended. You can still sort of see where there was the outline of some of these roads. However, everything else is gone, and every single one of these holes is actually a gigantic crater because, as you can tell, these little tiny buildings are full-size homes and churches, and then these are about the same size. The Battle of Passendale featured flamethrowers, gas attacks, just some of the worst conditions imaginable, including mud that was so bad that if you stepped off these duck boards into that muck, you probably were not going to get saved. Or at least there's a decent chance of it, especially if your buddies weren't there to grab you immediately. It was so bad that people were regularly going missing because they would fall into it. Maybe they were getting shot at or something at the time, so their buddies couldn't come rescue them, and they would just slowly seep into the mud, unable to escape, and people would hear them screaming for hours until they were eventually just eaten up by the mud. Why these duck boards were so important. Look at that muck. If you step into that, one, there's also lots of gas pockets all over the place. And nearly 1 million men ended up as casualties, as I had said, in 3 months. Across all the battles of Ypres, there was at least 2 million casualties, maybe 3. But look at how important these duck boards were, because all of that is just quicksand. A lot of places I would not want to go to if I was a time traveler. World War I battlefields was one of them, and Passendale was especially one of them.